masses in PDP would be quelled.
Yes.
Do you think so?
I don't think so. Obviously, I'm not a member of PDP, and I don't even intend to be a member of PDP. I don't think so. This politics of Serengeti they play in the PDP is so obfuscating. Is something that I look at times. I just ask myself, are these things necessary? Is this a political party or a gangster group? That is what I always ask myself. You see, because these people are not even after, what they are to do for the people, but what they are to gain by themselves. They have already shared power, even though they have not won election. It's only in Nigeria that political parties will share power before winning election. Now, they have already done. That is why you have all these problems there. Now, coming back to the IU and Wike feud and imbroglio in PDP, removing IU for me is not the only way to solve PDP's problem. PDP's problem is an issue of ego and one man. The person of the governor of Rivers State, he is the one that orchestrated and choreographed all these things because he lost a bid to become the president of Nigeria or get the ticket of PDP in the election. Now, and the solution he has said is one ticket solution of that IU has to, leave that particular position for PDP to have peace. I don't think so. See, one man should not be more than a committee or a community, as the case may be. They say if you cook for the community, I don't think you can even cook for the whole community and you feed all of them. If the whole community now cook for you, you can't finish their food. You understand the point? So a situation like we have in our hand in PDP, what should happen is for statesmen to come together. Yes, Wike is a PDP statesman. Ayu is a PDP statesman. Atiku is a PDP statesman. We have so many credible people in PDP. They can come together and harmonize positions and look for alternative that Ayu stepping down. The reason is this. Ayu was elected, whether by crook or by hook. I heard it was by consensus. So even if it was by consensus, consensus is part of the constitution of PDP in mode of electing officials. So if Ayu was, brought in there by way of consensus, that means that Ayu is occupying that particular position by virtue of the constitution of PDP. So to remove him from office, you have to go through that same constitution to do what? You remove that same person. Except if he voluntarily decides to do what? Step down or resign, as the case may be. But in this case, he's saying he's not doing that. Secondly is this. Let me tell you, the moment the group in, the moment the article group concede to Governor Wike's, demand that Ayu should step down before peace will be in PDP, I am telling you that it's going to end like what happened between Neville Chamberlain and Adolf Hitler, what they call appeasement. Appeasement no longer works. It's a discredited fashion of resolving crisis. Now, let me give you a small, history of what happened during that period. It's a similar thing like we have on our hand. Now, in the 1930s, because of the First World War and the devastating effect of the First World War, the British people said they do not want any further war to come again that will, bring strife and killings like happened in the First World War. So the then, Prime Minister of Britain, his name was Neville Chamberlain. So he adopted a foreign policy to say that no more war in the world. So let me appease those warmongers like Hitler. He now went to Hitler to tell him that, please, we don't want you to, because you have been boasting, you want to invade, you want to do this, you want to do that. We don't want any further war in a Second World War, as the case may be. Let us sit together. What do we do to appease you so that you don't declare war or bring about another Second World War? Hitler now said, if you give me part of Czechoslovakia that is speaking German, that if I go down and occupy that place, that I'll be okay, I will not declare war on the rest of the world. The British Prime Minister, Neville Chamberlain, agreed with Hitler just to appease Hitler, from creating another world war. Now, what happened was this. Immediately that particular agreement was signed, what we call the Munich Agreement. Immediately it was signed. 24 hours after that, you know what happened? Hitler now invaded not just part of Czechoslovakia, he invaded the whole of Czechoslovakia, Poland, and Austria. That eventually led to that Second World War that all of us know what happened there. And Chamberlain lost his enviable position. That was what brought Winston Churchill to power, and that became the most powerful and what they call the war, because Churchill was against appeasement. Now, if you want to appease Wike by saying that, okay, you should step down, the effect that you are going to have is what I call cataclysmic effects. Cataclysm is what I'm talking about is that you find out that the effect will be so monumental and it will be so horrendous and negative. It's going to be destructive, as the case may be. It will now become a one-man show. This same man that he said I should step down is the person that did what? Orchestrated the removal of the predecessor of IU. That is Secondus from office. You remember? It was this same governor that, fought using IU to remove Secondus from office. Now, he's not satisfied with the second person he brought to power now, and he wants to remove that person. So if you allow him to begin to control this particular chair, it's going to be a musical chair in favor of Wike, and nobody can control him from that particular point in time.